Welcome to day 144 on the trail. We have 4 readings for today from John 21, verses 1 through 25, Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 1 through 22:12, the 130 and 131st Psalms, and 1 Maccabees chapter 11, verses 60 through 74. The story of the resurrection of Jesus begins with an empty tomb. The first indication of the resurrection is not seeing Jesus, but visiting a hollow, empty tomb, an empty hole in the earth. So why start there? Perhaps the empty tomb is a warning of sorts, a reminder of that sense of emptiness and hollowness that can find us from time to time. Prior to Sunday, the disciples knew that empty and hollow feeling. Their friend, leader, mentor, their hope for the future was horrifically killed with the entire city of Jerusalem watching. They were alone, empty and hollow. Then in our reading today, we learn that Jesus does not just come back from the dead, but he comes back to them. And he does not rebuke them or say, "I told you I would return, and you did not listen." Instead, he prepares breakfast. Now that might sound a bit strange. We would believe that Jesus had more important things to accomplish when he returned from the dead. But no, he makes breakfast for his disciples. As John 21 opens, the disciples are gathered in Galilee, and Peter decides to go fishing. Perhaps he is just trying to get back to normal life. So he returns to where he started, a life he knew. However, his fishing trip did not go as planned. They are on the Sea of Galilee, and they're there all night and catch nothing. Then at daybreak, Jesus arrives and asks if they have caught any fish. Now they do not know that it's Jesus. Jesus instructs them to cast their nets on the right side of the boat. And to the credit of Peter and his friends, they followed the request from this stranger on the beach. Then again, why not? It is not like they can catch any less fish than they did all night. But when they cast their net on the right side of the boat, they catch so many fish that the nets begin to break. 153 fish to be exact. Then John recognizes that it is the resurrected Jesus standing on the shore. In Luke's gospel, something similar happens 3 years earlier. Peter had been fishing all night and had caught nothing. But when Jesus instructs Peter to go back out and let down his nets again, Peter caught so many fish that their boats nearly sank. Therefore, in this passage from John, it is like Jesus is calling them all over again, like he is giving them a fresh start. When they pull their boats ashore, they find that Jesus has prepared breakfast for them. Then, after breakfast, Jesus has an important conversation with Peter. Beginning in verse 15. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." A second time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him a third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter felt hurt because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." Many suggest that the point of this passage is the 2 different words for love that are used by Jesus. Phileo, which typically references a brotherly love, and agape, unconditional love. The traditional view is that this use of these 2 words for love goes something like this. Jesus uses agape in the first 2 statements to Peter. "Simon, son of John, do you love me, agape, more than these?" Peter then responds using phileo. Yes, Lord, you know that I love you, phileo. Then, in the third question to Peter, Jesus uses Peter's choice for love, phileo. Some suggest that Jesus is saying, do you love me unconditionally, Peter, in the first two statements. Then when Peter responds twice with phileo, Jesus concedes and basically says, okay, Peter, are you at least my friend? However, this is probably not the case or the meaning of this passage. First, both words, agape and phileo, are used by John to talk about God's love for his people throughout his gospel. Second, we really don't see Jesus in the Gospels as a person of compromise. Instead, Jesus says things like, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect in Matthew, or leave all that you have and come follow me, or let the dead bury the dead, you come and follow me. There does not seem to be much compromise there. Others suggest that Jesus is wiping the slate clean with Peter, giving him another chance. Peter has denied knowing Jesus 3 times, in front of many people. And now, Jesus asks him again, 3 times, do you love me? If you do, Peter, then show me. Feed my sheep. For each time Peter denies Jesus, he now confesses his love for Jesus. And in response, Jesus invites Peter to continue his ministry. And this mission will cost Peter. Beginning in verse 18. Very truly I tell you, when you were younger, you used to fasten your own belt and to go wherever you wished. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will fasten a belt around you and take you where you do not wish to go. He said this to indicate the kind of death by which he would glorify God. After this, he said to him, follow me. Why does Jesus share this information with Peter? Why bring this up now? I do not think Jesus is trying to punish Peter. Instead, I believe he is telling Peter something far more encouraging. Perhaps Jesus is telling Peter, Peter, I know you ran when I was arrested. I know when push came to shove a few days ago, you abandoned me, and that you denied even knowing me. And Peter, following me will not be easy. But Peter, I want you to know that I love you, and I trust you. Peter, I also want you to know that I am here. I will not leave you or abandon you. Peter, I am here. Follow me, because I will always be with you. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, stay on the trail.